each ridge is the second row, so I can count them, and I have 26. I want to be sure that I end on the bottom of my head because I will be connecting to the top, and you can tell that the top looks smaller than the bottom, and that's what we want. So let's connect this together. You will place your hook in the first stitch in the beginning of your work, and then you take your loop from the end and just pull through to start connecting two edges together. So this is your foundation chain and this is your end row. What you will do, you will slip stitch first, and then you go to that stitch again and go to the back loop and slip stitch. And you repeat this process. So you go to your foundation chain, go to your back loop, and then slip stitch, foundation chain, back loop, and slip stitch. Please make sure that your slip stitch is not too tight. You want this to be exactly the size of your other stitches. So again, foundation chain, back loop, and slip stitch. Continue all the way to the top, and I will show you how to close this beanie. So we are on the top. This is our last slip stitch, and this is how the beanie looks so far. I will be keeping this one as my right side. So let's close the top. You have two options. You can cut your yarn and take a needle and go through each stitch to tighten this head. But before I do that, I like to be on my right side, which is this one, and reduce stitches a little bit before I completely tighten my head. I will flip my head to the right side. That's my right side. And because I was using half double crochet stitches, I will make one row or half double crochet stitches here. So I will chain one and I will make half double crochet, two together. So I go here to my ridge. Once I have 4 loops, I will close these together. This is very optional. You do not need to do that. So I will go again to the same stitch and I will find my ridge of my next stitch. So it looks like I'm doing 2 together, but actually I'm connecting them together because I still go back to the same loop. Again, go to the same loop and go to the next loop. You kind of have to find that loop sometimes, but in the end, the finish looks a little bit neater. This is optional. You can just go through each stitch and tie it together. So again, I'm going half double crochet first loop, and I will go pick up that second loop from the top and close my stitches. And I will do this all around, and then I will go with my needle and I tie this. As you see, that last row gives extra tightness to the head, and it's much simpler to pull yarn through now and just tie this head. Also will look less bulky on the top. But how I said, this is optional. You can just go through each row and tie your head as well. I have my yarn cut and I have my needle here. I will still go only in a back loop. So this is my first stitch here. I will go from the bottom up, put my needle through each loop and just the back loop. And once I go through every single one, I just tie it all together, and then I go in the middle to the other side. And hide my end. To me, that's the simplest way. Even if I have to do this extra row, I feel like it's much simpler to tie this on the top, and your head is less bulky as well. So you can do as many times as you want. And I will go back just to make sure that this connection is secure. Once I'm happy with my connection, I just cut the yarn and I will also go back here and hide this end, but that's how the head looks like. You have your nice edges, and that's how it looks on the top. So this is the simplest beanie ever. Beginner friendly, and I'm sure you will have fun making it. Thank you for crocheting with me. Have a nice day.